Hey, happy Wednesday. Right, listen, I've not been live in here for a wee while. There's been all kinds of mad shit going on, but I think today is a brilliant time to get cracked back on with this stuff, alright? So, today we're going to talk about the one thing that you need if weight loss is your goal this year, right? So if you're part of this group, man, you're probably here because you want to lose a few pounds, right? You're probably here because you want to lose some weight. You might just want to get stronger. You might want to get fitter, like depending on what your reason is. You're probably here to do something around about your health. Hey, Andy, thanks for tuning in, brother. All right, so the reason I'm kind of doing this video today, the reason that the big inspiration for this video today is because round about now, we're just at the start of February, and round about now is when people will pack in with their health and their fitness goals. I actually looked up some statistics. Let me just get the numbers. So, where is it? 43% of people, all right, 43% of people expect to give up on their goals by February. All right, that's so most people will kind of pack it in around about the end of January, going into February. That's when it normally falls way off track. Right, there's only 9% of people successfully stick to their New Year's resolutions. So if you didn't set resolutions this year, because a lot of people are like, no, I'm not setting resolutions. I'm going to set goals instead, which is awesome. But from the same regard, they're going to be exactly the same. If you don't see them through, you're never going to achieve those goals, all right? So that's why we're going to do this video today. So I want to talk about the one thing you absolutely need to have if you want to be consistent and actually get yourself to your goals. I might have just given that away there, but never mind. Okay, so let's talk about first and foremost why resolutions fail, all right? So why do your New Year's resolutions fail year upon year upon year upon year? If you've been going through this process for a while now, man, making like new year, new me, here we go, I'm going to join the gym, I'm going to lose weight, this is the year I'm going to get healthy, I'm going to get my 20s body back, or like I'm going to actually get a body that I've never had before, like this is the year, I'm going to make it happen. All right, when it gets to the start of the year, when it gets to January time, that's normally when people really, like, they feel super motivated because they're like, right, that's it. They've been building themselves up for a while. They know it's coming. They know what they're ready to do, and they take that leap, right? They maybe join up to the gym, or they hire a PT, or they hire a coach, or they invest in some crazy harebrained diet, like whatever it is, right? Generally around about that time, when you get started, excitement's high, all right? You're feeling good. Now, most people don't start in the first because you're normally nursing a hangover, so it's normally 2 or 3 days after the first, but you get yourself geared up, you're ready to go. Motivation's high, so you get yourself ready to rock. But then, slowly but surely, you're going to the gym, you're doing whatever, and people expect when they go to the gym or they jump on a diet, they expect to see results overnight, right? The health industry's done a really great job in making us think that we need to, once we start the process, we're going to see results really quickly, right? Oh, you're going to lose this much weight, like the 6-minute six-pack solution, you're going to lose weight really quick. And then, of course, that happens when you go on a diet. People, like, especially with crash diets, you'll lose weight really, really quickly. But then as soon as you stop, or as soon as things go tits up, or as soon as somebody comes into the office with donuts, you find yourself indulging in all the stuff that you've been cutting out your diet. And any weight that you have lost up until that point, you generally fire right back on again, pretty damn quickly. All right, so you end up then just stuck in this yo-yo diet cycle. All right, so when we start going to the gym, the reason that most people kind of stop going, all right, one of the biggest reasons is because they lack motivation. They find that motivation is dipped. All right, one of the big reasons for the fact that motivation is dipped is because you're going there expecting to see results overnight. All right, so there's a great, I can't remember who it was that said it. I think it was a guy called Simon Sinek, and he talks about it. You know, you go to the gym once and you lift loads of weights and you feel really good when you do it, and you come home and you don't see any difference in the mirror. And then you go again the next day, you lift loads of weights, you feel really good, you come home, you still don't see any difference in the mirror. Then you go the 3rd or 4th day, 5th day, 6th day, you do the same thing, you come home, there's still no difference in the mirror. Alright, because we're expecting it to happen overnight. Right? But it doesn't work that way. If you look at how you put body fat on, if you look at how you actually gained weight, you didn't go to sleep one night after eating a cheeseburger and wake up and go, holy shit, I got fat overnight. That didn't happen. All right, it took a number of years, man. Like if you've been struggling with this since you were a kid, like I know for me, I was always a wee bit overweight as a kid, and then as I grew into adulthood, that's when I really started to struggle. You know, I had my own kind of addictions and problems around food, but that followed me like well into my 20s. It wasn't until I was 29 that I started to kind of finally get to grips with it. I'd struggled with that shit my whole life. Felt really conscious about it. I didn't like getting changed in the change rooms at school because I always had like a wee set of boy boobies and I had a wee belly. I didn't help that I had a wee willy as well. So all those kind of things all kind of tied in. You know what I mean? I wasn't confident in my body, and that was all the way through my life. So it took me a while to then get to grips with them to actually start turning it around. But a lot of people have maybe been healthy before, and then you've fallen off track. All right, so you start then going through this process of trying to lose weight and trying to get back to where you were previously, and you try and do it overnight. But it didn't happen overnight. You didn't get overweight overnight. Like, I wasn't born overweight. Every kid is. Every kid's born with fat, and that's just how kids are born. But I became overweight because I was overindulging. I was eating too much food. And that happened consistently over time, like over a number of years. Like I say, man, I was 29 before I finally got to grips with stuff. All right, and again, if you look at your life, maybe it was when you had kids, so you kind of slowed down, you were spending a bit more time playing with the kids. Maybe it was when you changed jobs, you went to a sedentary job. Like whatever it was, something happened in your life and all of a sudden things changed. All right, we can blame it on our metabolisms, we can blame it on whatever, but realistically what's happened is things have changed. Maybe you were really, really active as a kid, or maybe you played with a football team, but then you stopped doing that, but you kept on eating the same amount of food, or you were guzzling beers every weekend, whatever. And then slowly but surely the weights just started to pile on. Then weekend over weekend over weekend, gradually over the course of a year, you're like, shit, I've gained 2 or 3 extra pounds, man. What's going on? And that happens year upon year upon year. And it takes time. All right, but for some reason, we think that we're going to go to the gym and just automatically lift a weight and get absolutely shredded. It just doesn't work that way. So when we start then not seeing the results that we want to see, motivation can take a bit of a dip. Or maybe you've just not addressed the way that you feel. Like you've started when you felt really high motivated. Oh, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to rock, let's go and do this. But in those days where you're not feeling quite so good, then you're like, oh, I don't know if I can be arsed going to the gym today. So you miss a day. So you miss a day going to the gym, but then all of a sudden, because you've missed a day, you go, oh man, that's it, I've fallen off the wagon, I shouldn't have done that, I've ruined all that, I'm just not going to bother going back, I can't find the time. Which is then the second reason that people say they can't get to the gym is because they're too busy, they don't have the time. Alright, so whatever it is that's caused you to kind of fall off track, you've got to understand that though if you kind of keep on falling off track, then you're just going to stay in that same cycle over and over and over again. All right, and here's the key, man. So this isn't what I wanted to talk about today. We're not going to talk about motivation, but for the main reason that people fall off track is because of the motivation side of things. Well, here's the deal with motivation, man. You have to understand that it's a feeling, and I've done a couple of videos on motivation before in this group. If you need to see them, just comment motivation. And I'll make sure I get them across to you. But motivation is just a feeling. All right, it's just a thing that we feel in the moment. Like some days you're going to wake up and feel motivated, some days you're really not. All right, but if you just rely on that feeling alone, you're always going to stay stuck. So here's the question, man: do you ever need to be motivated to go and brush your teeth? Like you don't wake up in the morning and go, oh, do you know what? I can't be bothered with that today. I'm just not going to do it. Of course you don't, because it's a natural habit. It's a thing that you just do. Like obviously when you're 5, like my daughter right now, man, trying to get her to brush her teeth. Woo-wee! Alright, she doesn't love it, but we obviously have to try and get her into this habit of you need to brush your teeth, you need to clean your teeth. Alright, so we're getting into the habit of doing it. So it's now become a habit in your life, whether you're motivated or not, you just brush your teeth. Alright, but if we only ever get started when we feel motivated, as soon as things get difficult or as soon as we're not feeling it, we'll always pack it in. The key to motivation is doing the thing anyway, even though you don't feel like doing it. So if you've woken up and you've been going to the gym for the last 4 weeks, all right, you've been maybe doing whatever, you've been on a diet or you've been eating healthily or like whatever it is you've been doing for the last 4 weeks, and you all of a sudden, like, especially if you've been only dieting, if you've just been like watching what you're eating, if you've been doing a crash diet or some kind of like Herbalife and it's starting to go a bit tits up, we need to have a conversation because we need to get you off that as quickly as possible. All right, you need to be eating real food. If you've just been watching what you're eating and then all of a sudden you've hit that wee 4-week plateau where things have just kind of slowed down a little bit, your weight's not moving, you're maybe looking at the scale, you're having a bit of a conniption because the scale hasn't moved. Like if you're in that position and you're starting to feel demotivated because the progress has stopped, you have to understand that that's a normal part of the process. You have to go through those little lulls where things aren't going to move. You're maybe not going to be making much progress. You have to keep on pushing past that. And that's what I want to speak about in this video. Right? The thing that you need to have, if you really want to lose weight this year, the thing that you absolutely have to have, and I've spoken about it a couple of times, is consistency. You need to be consistent. All right? You can't just do it for 2 or 3 weeks and then go, do you know what, I'm going to take 2 or 3 weeks off and then stop. Hey Martin, thanks for tuning in, man. Hey Colin, thanks for tuning in. All right? You can't then just do that for a couple of weeks and then just stop for 2 to 3 weeks and then get back on the wagon again and then be upset about the fact that you've gained a bit of weight because you've not been consistent through that time. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have a slip up. Don't get me wrong. One of the first things that we drill into all of our clients, all of our private clients is we have to expect slip ups. We have to expect that they're going to come. And the fact that we know they're going to come puts us in a much more powerful position to deal with them when they do come. Because if we go through this process and think that we're going to be absolutely perfect and we're never, ever, ever going to slip up, when we then do slip up, we start beating ourselves up over it. And that's when we start losing that, I've slipped up, I'm not feeling motivated, I can't be bothered, I knew I was going to fail. Alright, so like I said earlier, 43% I said? 43% of people fully expect to pack it in by February. You've already set it in your head, I'll not be doing this after February. You already know it's coming. So you think you're going to pack, you already think you're going to pack it in. And all it's going to take is a wee slip up, or a day where you miss the gym, or something to happen where you feel a little bit less motivated than you did before, and then all of a sudden, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to fall off track. And then 6 weeks go by, 8 weeks go by, and you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and go, I really hate the way I look. I hate the way that I feel, man. Or maybe you've turned your kids down at playtime again. You're like, I can't be bothered today, and your kids are disappointed, or your wife's maybe not quite as amorous in the bedroom as she used to be because you're just not kind of your normal self. Like whatever it is, man. Like whatever it is the trigger, but something happens to make you go, I hate this. I hate this. And then because you hate that, you then jump back into another fad diet. You go on a Herbalife or a Slimming World or a Weight Watchers or the keto diet, or like now the big things, the carnivore diet. People are messaging me about the carnivore diet. Oh, should I do the carnivore diet? Woo! All right, and then all that happens is you lose a whole pile of weight initially. You feel brilliant because you're losing weight. Yeah, it's finally working. Yahoo! And then you crash. Game over. It stops. Your progress stops, and then you feel demotivated. You start eating carbs again. You start eating food again. Things you start going a bit bananas on it. Whatever it is, you go back on bananas on, and then you pile all the weight back on, and then the whole cycle starts again. And then before you know it, we're 2024. New year, new me. This is the year I'm going to start. Whereas if you had just stayed consistent from the start, like do what we speak about in this group, slightly reduce what you're doing, like food-wise, increase your protein, increase your veg, increase, like instead of grabbing crisps all the time, have a piece of fruit. Drink a whole load more water and get out walking every day. Then from there, start adding in some resistance training. Do that 2 or 3 times a week and see how it works out for you. Do that consistently over time. And on the days where you cannot be arsed going to the gym, like Jen up this morning, well, not even so much this morning. Last night, my wife had been complaining early through the day. She was complaining that she felt like she was getting a cold, she was shivery, and she started working out with me now. She wants to get fit, she wants to get healthier, so she started a wee workout. So I do, like I've got my own gym days, but I'll do a little bit in the house where I keep the weights light because otherwise it hampers my progress. So I keep the weights light for me, and I just work on just going through the movement, just to kind of keep me moving. So it helps my recovery actually. But for my wife, my light weights are feckin' heavy, man. So she's like, Jesus Christ. So anyway, she was giving me the chat of, I've got a bit of a cold, I don't feel too well, and I thought she's going to try and talk about this, but she's, I'm not feeling this today at all, but I'm going to do it anyway, because she's heard me banging this drum, man. She's heard me banging the drum, and I was really proud of her, because she went up, she got changed, she got her stuff on, we came down, we had an awesome workout. It was brilliant, it was a really good one. Her legs were wobbling, her arms were wobbling, she's like, holy Christ, man, that was hard. All right, but she got it done, all right. And I thought the cool thing was just an excuse, but then late last night, maybe about, I say late, like late for me is like 8:30, but about 8:30 I started feeling shivery. I was like, oh Christ, I'm really cold, man. Now our house is cold anyway, we're not putting the heating on right now because, well, you would need to remortgage your whole house to get the heating on, but it's cold anyway, but it was like abnormally cold. I was shivering, my joints were so, I was like, Jesus Christ, getting that shitey cold thing. So I grabbed my echinacea straight away and I started plowing the echinacea down me, but then I had a really shit night's sleep. I've got one of these wee whoop things that tracks your sleep, and like I had a 2% recovery, my skin temperature was elevated, my oxygen levels were all over the place, my resting heart rate was off the scale, my HRV, which is the beats in between your heart rate, like that's all we do with recovery and all that kind of shit, that was super low, whereas you want it to be really quite high. Yeah, I had a terrible night's sleep, like absolutely rubbish sleep, and I woke up this morning just like, oh man, I had to peel myself out of bed. I got down the stairs, I sat down to do some work, and I was like, I cannot be fucked the day, I feel like shit. So I went and walked my dogs, I came home, and I was sitting there waiting on my mum. I'm having to borrow my mum's car to get to the gym, so sitting there waiting like, oh fuck, I don't want to go to the gym today, man, I don't want to go to the gym. But I went. I made myself go. All right, I got up, I got changed, I got my stuff on. My mum arrived. I went. That was me. Time to go to the gym. Cool. Happy days. That's it. I'm off. Woo! So away I went. Away I went to the gym. That was me. Got a session in, and I actually feel brilliant now. I've still got a bit of a sore head. I feel a bit groggy, but I got it done. All right. So the key is for consistency. Even on the days where you do not feel it, do it anyway. Just go. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. If you're dying, if you've got the flu, and you're in your bed, and you're shitting yourself, and you're spewing everywhere, maybe don't go, maybe take a day off, alright, that's okay. But even if you do take a day off, understand that's not the end of the world. You've not ruined all your progress, you've not stalled, you've just had a day off, alright? Sometimes that happens. But if it's just a day where you wake up and think, oh, I just can't be bothered, go. Don't negotiate with that voice in your head, because the minute you negotiate, boom, the voice in the head wins. Don't Don't negotiate. Tell it to shut up. Look at the post I put on my main personal page this morning where I spoke about that. Self-discipline is what we need, not motivation. Self-discipline is where that voice in your head tells you not to go to do the thing, and you go and do the thing anyway. That's what we need. Alright, so the number one thing that you have to be if you want to lose weight this year, if you want to get in the best shape of your life, is consistent. You have to be consistent. And patience goes in with that a wee bit as well. Let's kind of talk about patience. We have to understand it's not going to happen overnight. Of course, I can help you lose weight fast, man. Like, all the guys that come to me, typically, they'll be losing anywhere from sort of 10 up to 30 pounds over a 12-week period, which is really good. 30 pounds is good. That's really, really good. If you've got a lot to lose, we can do that. But what then is key is maintaining that, and if you've still got more to lose, is then losing more on top of that. That's the key. All right, there's no point in losing weight really, really fast and then crashing, falling off track and regaining it all, because what will happen is you'll regain more than you lost. Like, almost every time you'll regain more than you lost. And then you just end up in this never-ending cycle, and year upon year you gain an extra 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 pounds. And then before you know it, oh man, I'm an extra 3 stone overweight. What's happened? All right, so instead of doing that, let's just focus on making you consistent. Let's get consistent in your actions. Like, do the things we speak about: eating more protein, drinking more water, eating more veg, balancing out your meals, slightly reducing the carbs, the treats, the sugary drinks, slightly reduce all of that shit, and then focus on the things I just spoke about. Do that consistently for the next 6 to 12 weeks. Then from there, we reassess, see where you're at, what needs to happen next. Can we start introducing some resistance training? Oh, I don't have time to go to the gym 3 times a week. Cool, man. Could you do 10 push-ups, 10 squats and 10 rows in the house? Can you do that 5 times? If you can do that for 10 minutes, 50 minutes and do that every single day, boom, there you go. You've got an insanely good workout. All right, that'll really, really work well for you. You don't have to be going to the gym for 4 hours at a time. All right, you just don't need to do it. Or just going out for a walk every day. One of the most basic things you can do, the lowest hanging fruit, is just go for a walk every day. But make sure you do it every day. Park further away from your office and walk further to get to the office. All right, just like if you can take the stairs instead of the elevators. Like, whatever it is you can do, just add some extra activity in your day. If you'd done that alone for just the next 6 to 12 weeks, you would see such a huge difference. But you can't then get to that 12 weeks and go, I'm just going to stop now, and then I'll restart again in a few months. No, it doesn't work that way. All right, so if you want this, the body you want, if you want to be in a slimmer, trimmer body by the time you go on your summer holidays, you need to start now. Don't wait till a month before your summer holiday and then message me and say, I need to lose a couple of stone before I go on holiday in July. Right, dude, it's June. Like, I'm good, man, but I can't work miracles. All right, so let's get started now, so that when it comes to July for you going on your holiday, you're in a much better place to do it. All right, you've actually got that time. You've built the habits, you've built the behaviours, and then when you go on holiday, like one of our clients last year went on 2 holidays in a 12-week period, and he still lost just over a stone. All right, he was on 2 holidays. One of them was a really boozy holiday with his mates. All right, it can be done. You just need to know how to do it. But you also need to be consistent in your efforts instead of stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. Because of that approach, that's going to keep you stuck for a long ass time. And although the quick fix seems really alluring, it seems really attractive, like, oh look, I can lose this much weight in this really short period of time. That seems super, super attractive. Of course it does. But my question is, how long have you been doing that approach? Because if you've been doing that for the last 5 or 10 years, is it really a quick fix? Is it really the fastest way to do it? But if I was to say to you, right, over the course of the next year, we could really have you in really insane shape, man. We could have you really feeling really, really fit, feeling really confident in your body, energy through the roof, man. Like, actually comfortable running about in your budgie smugglers when you go on holiday. Maybe even a couple of abs. But that might take a year. Would you be all right with that? It's a bit too long. I want it yesterday. It's probably not going to work for you. All right? So whatever it is you're doing, man, like, this is the point. February is the point. This is where people stop. Do not stop. Do not stop. All right? You have to keep on going. If you're not feeling motivated today, if you're feeling like, I can't be bothered, cool story, go do it anyway. Go for a walk. If you can't get to the gym, go for a walk. All right? Like, whatever it is, man, just do something. And listen, if you're in a position where you don't know what to do, you're like, well, I want to go to the gym, but I don't know what to do, then it's cool. Let me help you. All right? Just put the word help in the chat and I'll send you across a gym guide. All right? It's a wee dumbbell guide. You can take it to the gym. It's a 3-day split. It's an upper day, a lower day, and a full body day. All right? That is what I do every week. Full, like, 3 days in the gym, done. It takes me 3.5 hours all in. That's it for the 3 days. We spend more time than that scrolling through our phones looking at nonsense. All right, so if you want that, put help in the chat and I'll ping it across to you so I can make sure I get it to you. What's Colin saying? Been up since 4:30, I'm knackered and I can't be bothered, but I'm going to the gym in 40 minutes. Dude, do it. You posted something else earlier as well. What did you say? Nearly a stone down from the 9th of January just by being in a deficit in the gym a few times a week. Ka-ching! There we go, man. That's consistency. Alright, that's consistency. There's a stone down in a month. Now, what I will say, dude, is just expect that now to slow down. Alright, that's a big amount of weight loss for a month. Awesome job, congratulations. But when it starts to slow up, please, slow up. When it starts to slow up, please don't get discouraged. Keep on going forward. Because even if you now plateaued for the next 3 to 4 weeks, you're still way ahead of what the average rate of weight loss should be. Anywhere from half a pound to a pound a week is average, and that's good. 2 pounds a week, absolutely crushing it. All right, so yeah, that's outstanding effort, dude. Keep it going. All right, but guys, listen. Whatever happens, man, it doesn't matter what point you're at in your journey. All right, if you're still going to the gym strong, if you're still going out for your walks, you're still maintaining what you're doing from a nutritional standpoint, and you're not feeling discouraged moving into February, or maybe you are feeling it, but you're still going to keep on going anyway. Awesome. If you're at that point where you're feeling discouraged and you're ready to quit, please don't do that. Keep on going. If you're on an approach like Herbalife, or you've been going to Slimming World, or you're on the keto diet, or if you're on one of these named diets, one of these things that you buy into hoping for the world, and you feel that it's at that point where it's no longer delivering on the promise, please again, do not give up. Do not give up. Don't just throw it all out and say, man, I'm just going to start eating cheeseburgers again. Stop. Throw the shit out, throw the rubbish stuff off, because you don't need that. But then just focus on the things we spoke about in this group and keep on going. You may gain a little bit of weight back initially because you're reintroducing like food to your diet. So of course you're going to gain a little bit. However, if you then maintain consistency and work through that little bit of weight gain, you're going to see the benefit in the long term. And that's what the key is. All right. So stop with the herbicide and go on with a consistent nutritional approach that's actually going to get you to where you want to be. When you do that, you're much more likely to see long-term success. All right. So anyway, listen, I hope that made some sense for you. If it did, let me know, man. Give me a wee comment. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was from this video. And if you have any questions, then again, please let me know. All right. Drop them in the chat down below. Let me know what questions you've got. I'll be more than happy to help. All right. But yeah. Welcome back. I think this is the first one we've done this year. I can't remember. I had a few family issues at the start of the year, so I was a bit off kilter. But everything's back on track now, so we should be back weekly for lives in this group. So if this is the first one of the new year, Happy New Year. It might be the second. I can't remember. But anyway, we're back on. Lives are back on the agenda. So anyway, have an amazing rest of your day, wherever you're at in the world. Be happy, be healthy, be safe, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.